Now for those who aren't all that familiar with martial arts preparation and basic sort of stuff, warm-ups are an essential part of training. Without proper warm-ups before training, you could really do some damage to yourself. There's not enough blood flow going through the body, the joints aren't lubricated, there's all kinds of things that can happen to you. To avoid injury, it's always best to warm up before doing any sort of martial arts activity. Now that's not always the case with, say for instance, a self-defense scenario. You haven't really had time to warm up. But with practicality and training, you need warm-ups which are applicable to you. Without stretching and warm-ups, there are a lot of things that I actually can't do. I mean, there's a lot of things that I can't do even with stretches and warm-ups, but that's another thing. So today, we're just going to go through a few basic stretches and warm-ups that are favourites of mine, that I've gone through over the years. Let's get to it. Touching the floor. So, I want to touch the floor. So again, obviously the more training you do, the more limber you become, and you can actually touch the floor. You could touch, if you could touch to here, that's fine. I mean, everybody's different, it's fine for everybody. So, over time, you're going to be able to touch the floor, which is great. I mean, some people even touch their palms and go all sorts of insane sorts of pretzel-like movements. Go for a foot, one side, go for a foot, the other side. And the main thing with this is never bend your knees. We want our knees straight. The knees have to be straight, otherwise we're kind of cheating. We're doing this is wrong, this is cheating. Straight legs, we're really stretching our back, we're stretching the back of our legs. This region here, it's all good. First thing is just rotating the hips. Keep your feet nice and straight, nice and solid on the floor. Keep your knees straight and just rotate your hips. Just go around one way, go around the other way. Try and avoid the dirty jogs and you're all sweet. Next, we go back. What we want is leaning back, hands on the hips and pushing forward with your action zone. We'll call it the action zone. Out front, touching the floor again, and then back into stretching the back, the lower back. So you can revolve through those three. Really great for starting up. Next, we get down on the floor. Again, legs straight, we don't want to bend our knees. And touching our toes. Try and touch our toes. You can touch to here, that's cool. Touching our toes and really stretching this region here. Okay? Very similar to the back exercise that we've done previously. And just simply making sure that your feet are grounded and lifting your hips. Just lifting your hips as far as you can go. With your toes up, with your heels up. It isolates different areas. Even just holding it up for as long as you can. Need to give it a bit of help, just put your arms under and hold that there. And down, and then repeat. Yeah, so with this, you want your hips to go side to side as you do that. Of course, this ends up becoming applicable to other techniques later on. So yeah, very, very good warming up. What else have we got? We've got the good old sit-up, we've got the good old push-up, we've got variations on those. Nice variation on the push-up is without touching the floor with your body, just go up like so and stretch the back out. Keep your arms straight, go up into this sort of position and then we're down like so. Okay, when we're getting into this pose, we don't want our forearms, our elbows, our stomach or our chest to touch the floor. What we want is to keep that gap. That keeps us working. So, trying to stay as close to the floor as we can without touching it. And then, oh yeah, I'm getting a good stretch there. I can hear my bones cracking. Alright, here's another one. Starting from one end of the room, going all the way to the other side. Kind of like a lizard crawl. Like so. Trying to stay as close to the floor as you can, leaving that gap between your body and the floor. The knee and the elbow touch on one side. So you go from one end of the room to the other end of the room. Circling the arms. Arm movement. around and around. Loosens up the shoulders. Obviously this will be done standing up. One way, the other way. Good. Yeah. Just punching down the center. Again, very loose. We're almost doing a bicycle motion. Stretching the arm over, putting some pressure with your other arm. And stretching. Other side. Oh, yeah. Of course, this one an oldie but a goodie. Laying down, making sure that our shoulders are pinned to the ground. We don't want them to lift. Knee up, and look, you can do this with your arms out. That helps you keep your shoulders pinned, or you can do them with your hands on your stomach. Some people disagree to doing them one way, other people do them another way. See what's better for you. Now we're just putting the knee over as far as we can go. Down, give it that stretch. Just make sure that your shoulders are pinned to the ground. Okay, from there, put both your knees together, touching, lift, and then do the same thing. Oh, my flexibility is not there. That's alright. And then the other side. And then the other side. Now, obviously, that's very good for your lower back. When I had a lower back injury, I was told to do this exercise in a different sort of a way, and it was familiar territory. So before we touched on touching the toes. One leg, gonna bend it like so, and then we're just gonna stretch and try to get to that toe again. Alright? Boom. And the other side. Okay, so you can see my knee, my foot is in this sort of a shape, and I'm reaching over. This is giving me a good stretch here, here. Okay, another thing, running on the spot or running in a circle around the room. Nothing gets your blood flowing more than running around a room or having people chase you around a room. Now, if you've got more than one person warming up with you, have one person chase the other person around the room. Or not really chase, but if somebody's behind you, you don't want them to catch up. So you kind of push yourself to go faster as you go around the room. Sidestepping, first start out jogging. Saw that in an MC Hammer video one time. It was pretty crap, and I'm sorry I brought that up, so let's skip to the next thing. We can also go backwards. Each knee, you want to slap your hand. It looks a bit ridiculous. Running and slapping the back of your hand. So with each leap, you kind of knock the back of your foot on your hand. Boom. Do that around the room, your blood's going to be flowing, the joint's lubricated, you're all ready for training. Try it out.